Hey guys, I'm Jonathan Farrington and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Now before I get into anything, I just want to first of all thank you guys so much for your support and your kind words on my video that I posted about me having COVID-19. I appreciate your kind words and your gestures of love and support. Now, as promised, I told you guys that I would share my tips on how I got over COVID-19, this very aggressive virus that is still killing thousands of people around the world. Now, before I say anything, I just want to say this. I'm not a doctor. I don't want to prescribe anything to anyone. I'm not a medical practitioner. I am just someone that had experienced COVID-19, and these are the things that I did, and this is how I overcame. And understand that everyone's body is different. I believe that the tips that I will share can be beneficial to a large group of people. So just listen up and hopefully this helps someone. Oh, also, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the little bell notification so that you can be notified of when I post other videos. Now, let's get right back into this. The first thing that I'm going to recommend is to drink lots of water. We all know that water is very important, and what water is going to do is it's going to help you to stay hydrated, and it's also going to help to flush out any toxins out of your system. Water is your best friend because you need to keep your body hydrated. You need to stay in a state where your body is flushing out toxins, and the only way that you can really do that is drinking lots of water. You need to stay hydrated because you're going to be feeling very depleted, and water is going to give you that source of fulfillment. It's going to give you the ability to be hydrated, so drink lots of water, preferably room temperature. The second thing that I would recommend is to stay away from sugar. Stay away from processed foods. Stay away from anything that is packaged and filled with a bunch of sugar and sodium, because if you know anything about diseases and viruses, they thrive off of a body that is in a acidic state versus an alkaline state. So if you're constantly eating things like sugar and processed foods and greasy foods, you're going to create an environment in your body where the illness is going to thrive and it's going to really increase. So you want to cut out sugar. Sugar is one of the worst things, to be honest, that you can put in your body, especially when you're sick. So you want to stay away from sugary foods, high processed foods, greasy foods, and you want to eat a predominantly plant-based diet filled with vitamins and just nutrients. I recommend that because you want to make sure that your body is in a position whereas it's getting in necessary nutrients from plant-based foods, a balanced diet. Even if you lose your appetite like I did, I still try to maintain some kind of eating habit. Try to eat some vegetables and fruits just so that I can have those nutrients. And speaking of vitamins, you want to also make sure that you are taking your vitamins and mineral supplements, whether that be vitamin C. I would recommend vitamin D. I would recommend zinc. I would recommend a multivitamin, just so that your body can have those vitamins, because to be honest, the foods that we sometimes consume on a day-to-day basis do not have enough nutrients to sustain us and to give us the added intake that we deserve as humans. So it's always great to add those supplements into your diet so that you can have the nutrients that is necessary for you to stay healthy. So vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, all those important, especially vitamin D and zinc, they will be great in boosting your immune system. So definitely intake those. Now here's where things start to get really interesting. I think the first 3-4 things that I mentioned, a lot of people know about those things and they do those things on a regular basis. But then what I did was I took it up another notch and I started to add other things in my diet that I would not necessarily use. And one of those things was elderberry. Elderberry is this amazing berry that has so much potent, powerful nutrients that is needed for your body. Research it. For those of you that don't know what elderberry is, it is a very, very unique berry that has it boosts your immune system and it fights off so many different diseases, so many that I can't list right now. But I ordered it off of a provider from off Etsy.com, and it was delivered to my apartment in 2 weeks, and I had that, and it was really, really, really something that added to the recovery process for me. The other thing that I started to put in my diet was sea moss. Now, if any of you know anything about sea moss, you would know that sea moss is found in the ocean, in the sea, and sea moss has, I don't want to give the exact amount, but it has a lot of the minerals that our body needs that we don't regularly get on a day-to-day basis. And what sea moss does is it has so much other benefits. It helps with digestion. It helps with getting your gut kind of detoxified. It helps with detoxification. And if you know about anything about illnesses, every disease basically starts in the gut. And if your gut is in an acidic state, then all kinds of diseases like cancer and leaky gut is going to thrive, because your system is in a bad state and you need it to be in an alkaline state. So sea moss is one of those things. If you're not taking sea moss, you should definitely take sea moss. It has so much health benefits. I would advise you to do the homework and research this product. It's something that you can add in your food, like your shakes. You can put it in water. I usually just put it in a glass of water and I add some lime to it just to give it a little bit of taste, because it has a bland taste, but it has amazing health benefits. So I definitely advise that you start adding sea moss into your diet. You can either get it as a gel, or you can get it packaged as the actual in the raw state, and then you can actually make your own gel. So look into that. Now, the final thing that I did in my process of recovery with COVID-19 was, I had a conversation with a friend, and she shared with me that she also had COVID-19. And what she did was, she told me that she was able to get over it. So I asked her, how did you get over it? So she said that she spoke to her doctor, who wasn't actually like a doctor from the hospital or the clinic. No, this gentleman was somebody that works in Eastern medicine. He's a practitioner in that area, and she put me on to him, and I had a conversation with him, and I kind of told him all of my symptoms. And when we checked out the symptoms, we discovered that, of course, it was COVID-19. And what he did was, he prescribed to me Chinese herbs. It's like, okay, Chinese herbs. I've never taken Chinese herbs before, but he prescribed Chinese herbs to me, and he sent me to a pharmacy. And I went to that pharmacy and I picked up a bag, 2 brown paper bags that I didn't open it right away, but when I got home, I opened up the bags, and when I looked inside the bags, it was just a bunch of like herbs, and it literally looked like dirt. It looked like bark and leaves and dirt, and it just had a very, very, very like, it looked like earth, to be honest with you. It just looked strange to me, but what I was instructed to do was boil it as a tea and drink it 2 times a day. So what I did was I boiled this big pot, and I boiled both bags of whatever they had in it, and I boiled it, and it came out as this black tea, and it was so strong, it literally scented up my entire house. Even though I know I couldn't smell that well, but it was so strong, I could actually smell a little bit of it. So I was like, okay, this stuff is pretty potent, right? So I began to drink it on the first day, and literally on the first day, I started to feel, let's say if I was at a 20%, I started to feel like 35% better. And then the next day, I drank 2 cups, 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon, and I started to feel like 50% better. And then on the 3rd day, I was literally able to get my energy back to a place where I wasn't so fatigued. The cough and the mucus had gone down. I began to get an appetite again, so I was eating again. I drank that for 3 days, and in 3 days, 4 days, 3 to 4 days, my symptoms were gone. They were all gone. Now, I believe that I still had COVID, but the symptoms were literally gone, because then now my body could recoup, it could regenerate, it could get to a place where I could fight off COVID, and I could survive and I could thrive. So these Chinese herbs had me thinking, and I was like, I'm a believer that the earth has all of the medicine and all of the healing that we need. I'm a strong believer that God has given us healing in the earth. So my encouragement to anyone is, yes, there are prescribed medications for things. I personally don't like to take medication. If I get a headache, I don't pop an Advil or a Tylenol. I basically drink some water and I go to sleep. I don't really like to take medication. So I was nervous about what could I take with this COVID thing, but it was the natural remedy that helped me. It was the natural herbs and plants or whatever was in that box. And I actually have a list of some of the things, and I'm gonna call them off. And some of these things may be really strange to you because they're all Chinese herbs. So some of the herbs that were in my package were things called hongui and fangfen and bazi and yigeng, banlejen. Like I don't even know if I'm pronouncing some of these things right. But these are some of the things that was in my package. So I'm actually gonna go on Google and pull up one of the herbs and just research it. So this one is hongui. So Astragalus propinquinus, I think I said that right, in Chinese, is a flowering plant in the family of the Fabaceae. It is one of the 50 fundamental herbs used in traditional Chinese medicine. It is a perennial plant and it's not listed as being threatened. So basically, this is just saying that this herb is something that is used in traditional Chinese medicine, which I actually believe in. It worked. But I admonish you, if you live in a place that has a Chinese herbs practitioner, please go and find that person and begin to study about these things, because it can literally save your life. And I know that it's not, they don't just work for COVID, they work for so many other kinds of illnesses and chronic diseases, because I've been doing my research. So that's what I did to get over COVID, and I stand by it. It literally healed me. I was able to recover. So start changing your diet, guys. If a lot of people that have been have fallen victim to COVID have been people that are obese, people that have pre-existing conditions with either diabetes or hypertension. It's all showing you that if your body is in a state where you are already compromised, you really stand a chance of really being affected greatly by this virus and even dying and losing your life. So that should make a mind shift in your life where you want to eat better, you want to exercise, you want to make better decisions for your body, because if your body is compromised, then you are literally in the balance of losing your life. You're standing between that space of life and death, and I don't want you to be there. I know you don't want to be there. You want to be there for your family, you want to be there for yourself, you want to live a long, healthy, satisfying life. So I recommend to you, if you notice all of these suggestions that I've made have really talked about, making the right health choices, drinking lots of water, eating fruits and vegetables, taking your vitamins, trying things like sea moss and elderberry, and also Chinese herbs. I'm telling you guys, I stand by it. I stand by it. So I hope this information helps. If you have more questions, leave them in the comment box. I will definitely answer them for you. And I just want to see us live our best lives, okay? So thank you guys for sticking with me and listening to this video. I hope it helps. I hope you learned something from it. I hope you're challenged to now go and do something, start exercising, start eating right, cut out all that junk and sugar out of your body, and let's live healthier, better lives. My motto for this entire year of 2020 is I want to manifest the best version of myself. So how do we do that? How do we do that? How do we get our power back? We get our power by manifesting the best versions of ourselves, which means we have to start today. We have to make that decision right now. So I'm encouraging you to do that, okay? No more greasy food, no more bad food. Let's just eat healthy and let's live. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you can see videos when I post them. Thank you guys so much. Enjoy the rest of your day.